So hello students, how are you all? I hope that you all are fine. Jai Hind. So today we are going to discuss about the most important chapter, most important unit, most important thing in physics, that is what about light. LIGST, light. Okay, as you can see that I have mentioned today's in my lecture that what will be our lecture flow and what we are going to discuss about here. So as I have mentioned here, what light, I have just given some sources of light also. We can have candle, the biggest source of light on earth or in our solar system, that is what sun. The artificial source of light is what we can say, that is what bulb. Natural, largest and artificial source of light, that is what bulb. And in today's topic, our lecture flow will be as it is. You can see about here. Introduction we will discuss. We will discuss about reflection. We will discuss about law of reflection. We will discuss about type of reflection. Then we will discuss about image formation by plane mirror of point, extended and thick image, a thick object. And we will discuss about laterally inverted or lateral inversion. What does it mean? So as I have mentioned here, optics. So there may be a question in your mind that why I have been mentioned about here optics if we are going to discuss about light. So I want to mention you all that optics is a branch of physics which deals with all the phenomena related to light. Are you getting it? So in the branch of physics, we are having one branch that is known as optics. This branch holds, or this branch discusses about all the phenomena related to light, because light is not just about refraction, it is something more about than that. Okay, so we will come to know in this lecture firstly about reflection. Okay, so optics is okay to all of you. Optics means what? It's a branch of physics where we are discussing about, or where we are dealing about, or where we are studying about light and the related phenomena. Okay, now so as our topic is here light, so as I have mentioned you that we will discuss about introduction of light. So in introduction of light, in the case of introduction, I will just mention you some important characteristics of light. Okay, as we know, what is light? In our previous classes, you can say in our junior classes, we have discussed that light is a form of energy. We have discussed what? Light is a form of energy which gives a sensation of sight, sight. What does it mean? It means that in the presence of light only we are able to see the object. So what we have come to know, that light is a form of energy which gives a sensation of sight. Now when we little bit grown up, then we come to know one thing more, that light travels in straight line. This statement of light, that light travels in a straight line, is having some contradiction, because light is a form of energy which gives a sensation of sight, and it propagates in the form of wave. Light is a type of wave, and wave is having always what? And in wave it is known as what? Electromagnetic wave. Is known as what? electromagnetic wave. So first of all, the question arises that what do you mean by wave? Wave is nothing. Wave, whenever we used to say wave, then we go near, or our mind goes near the seesaw, because there only we are able to see the wave. So something like that here also we are having. Wave is a type of disturbance in a particle of the medium, which is used to propagate energy from one place to another. Let's say it once more. Wave is a type of disturbance in the particle of the medium, which is used to propagate energy from one place to another. So here, wave is basically of two different types. One we are knowing about it to be as electromagnetic wave, and other wave is we are having that is known as what? Mechanical wave. And the difference between those two waves is what? Electromagnetic wave doesn't require any material medium for its propagation. It means that the particle, whatever I have mentioned in the case of wave, if those particles are not present in the medium, then also the energy can be get propagated from one place to another. And that type of wave, which doesn't require any material medium for propagation, or for propagating energy, or for transfer energy from one place to another, is known as electromagnetic wave. And light is a type of electromagnetic wave because it doesn't require any material medium for the propagation of energy, or for the propagation of light. As we know, the biggest source of light in our solar system or on our earth is what? Sun. And sun is very, very far away from earth. But then also the light of sun, or the energy of sun, comes to the earth without any hindrance. In between sun and earth, there is what? Huge region where there is what? Nothing, where there is vacuum, or where there is space. But then also light is able to propagate from sun to earth. So because why? Because it is a type of electromagnetic wave, and its propagation takes place in the form of transverse wave. Transverse wave. Transverse wave is the nature of propagation, you can say, where the energy is propagated in the form of crust and trough. Although we discussed transverse wave and longitudinal wave in the case of mechanical wave, but mode of propagating energy in the case of light, that is what? Transverse wave. It propagates in the form of crust, trough, crust, trough. That's why we can't say that light travels in a straight line. Why we are saying light travels in a straight line? Because of its short amplitude. Because being very short amplitude, we used to say that light travels in a straight line. Now, the fourth one important topic is there, or one important characteristic is that speed of light is approx 10 to the power 8 meter per second, which we are considering it in vacuum or in air. There is small difference, very, very small difference when we are talking about speed of light in vacuum or in air. That's why we used to say that the speed of light is approximately 10 to the power 8 meter per second in vacuum or in air. And the speed of light keep on changing when medium gets changed. It means when the light will travel from air to water, air to glass, or air to any other medium, its speed will decrease. And because of the change in speed of light when it passes from one medium to another medium, we are having one more phenomena related to light that also we will discuss in this chapter, that we are knowing it to be as, or that we are saying it to be as, refraction of light. What we say? Refraction. That basically I will just mention the name here. That is what? Refraction. And the topic which we are going to discuss firstly, that is what? Reflection. So reflection and refraction both we will cover in this chapter, you can say. So speed of light is what? 310 to the power 8 meter per second. That we are considering it speed in vacuum or in air. And speed of light keep on changing when the ray of light passes from one medium to another medium. And because of the change in the speed of light, we are having one more phenomena related to light, that is known as what? Refraction. That also we will discuss in this chapter. So this is about something related to the characteristics of light which we must know. And one more thing is there, that light is dual in nature. Dual in nature, that basically means what? We are considering it to be as particle nature also, we are considering it to be as wave nature also. And why we are doing so? Why we are saying that light is dual in nature? Because when certain research has been done on the light, then what we have found is that some phenomena related to light can be explained only when we are considering it to be as ray. Whenever we are considering it to be as ray, and some phenomena of light which we are going to be explained only when we are considering it to be as wave. Otherwise they both cannot be able to explain on behalf of its one nature. That's why it is said to be that light is what? Dual in nature, particle nature also, and you can say wave nature also. Got it? So this is about the characteristic phenomena of light, and we are having various phenomena related to light, that is what? Reflection, refraction, diffraction. Other than that also we are having. Later on we will discuss about all those things. Firstly, we will get focused ourselves with reflection of light. Okay, so this was about all introduction of light. I hope that you all have copied it all. If you want, you can copy it also by making the screen pause. You can just copy it. So we may proceed with our next topic which we are having in our lecture flow, that is starting of this chapter. We are going to discuss about reflection of light. We are going to discuss about reflection. We are going to discuss about reflection of light, because there is reflection of sound also. That's why we have to use all full word. That is what reflection of light. Here we will discuss about what is the meaning of reflection of light. So in the case of reflection of light, what happens? We have seen that whenever we are having, it's a very common phenomena we are used to see in our day-to-day life also. The one example we can take, that whenever for dressing for the school, when you stand near the mirror, okay, just near your dressing table. So when you used to see yourself in a mirror, the phenomena which is responsible for that, with the help of which you are able to see yourself in a mirror and how you are looking, and you can comb your hair and you can just make yourself perfect just for going outside, or just for going party, or just for going to the school, or just for going to the coaching. So the phenomena related is what? Reflection of light. Even we are using the rear view mirror in a car, with the help of which we are able to see that somebody is coming from back or not, or otherwise we will not be able to see the person who is coming with certain speed from back of our car. So there may be a chance of accident. So that's why we must know that the reflection of light, and the basic phenomena of reflection of light, what happens in this case. Here what happens, if we supposed to see here that we are having here, we have taken here this symbol, we are having what? Mirror. That we are having a mirror as a name of P and Q. So what happens in this case? When the ray of light incident on a plain polished surface, which we are taking it to be as example as mirror, whenever the ray of light strikes on a plain polished surface, it bounces back in the same medium. This phenomena of light is known as reflection of light. What is reflection of light? Whenever the incident ray strikes on any plane polished surface, the ray of light get reflected back in the same medium, then the phenomena is known as reflection of light. Then you can say, sir, that without knowing that what is incident ray, what is reflected ray, how we will come to know the definition, what you are saying. So in a simple word, what we can say bouncing back of light after striking any plane polished surface is known as reflection of light. Now it's okay to all of you? So in simple word, what we can say, bouncing back of light. It means whenever we are just having the ball, Costco ball, or you can say canvas ball, when we make it to strike on the ground surface, it come back, it bounce back. The same thing happen in the case of light also. Whenever any incident ray or whenever any light ray strike on any plane polished surface, example is what you can take mirror. We are not talking about glass, we are talking about mirror, whose one surface is what? Polished. So the ray of light will bounce back in the same medium. Okay, and this phenomena totally is known as what? Reflection of light. And something more we will discuss in this phenomena, that what is incident ray, what is reflected ray, what is normal, and what we are having in the case of law of reflection. As we know that every phenomena in physics is associated with some law, and because of which we have to discuss about here one more thing, that is what? Law of reflection. So what we have come to know, that the bouncing back of light after striking on any plane polished surface in the same medium is called reflection of light. Now here, suppose if you are just giving a name here, it to be what? Suppose A. If you are giving it to be a name as A, we are giving it to be as suppose B, suppose this is what N, and suppose this is what O. So in this particular phenomena, in this particular diagram, whatever I have shown you, that this one is A, this one is B, this is one is N, this one is O. Here in this diagram, what happened? AO is known as incident ray. Is known as incident ray. So it means the ray which will come towards the plane polished surface is known as incident ray. And OB, the ray which goes away from the plane polished surface, is known as reflected ray. And whenever the ray of light is supposed to incident on any plane polished surface normally, perpendicularly, then the ray of light retraces its path and it goes along the same path in opposite direction in the same medium. So those type of rays we used to say as to be as ON. So ON we are saying it to be as normal. What does it mean? It means any ray, any incident ray, if it will strike on any plane polished surface through this normal, or you can say if it will be normal to the plane polished surface, it will retrace its path, it will go along the same path in backward direction. I hope you have come to know. So, and here what we are having here, PQ is, you can say mirror, you can say mirror, or you can say plane polished surface. Okay, we used to say plane polished surface, or you can say mirror. So it's, I hope that it is okay to all of you up to here. So in this topic we have come to know that what is incident ray, what is reflected ray, what is normal, what is PQ, and what is reflection of light. In now next topic we will discuss about law of reflection. See here. What is law of reflection? Now we are going to discuss about law of reflection. Now under the law of reflection we are having two different laws, and you have to not learn. One thing more I want to mention to you, that you have to not learn. You have to just make your concept clear, because physics is all about understanding. It is not to learn. If you will start learning, then you will start forgetting also in the same way as you are just learning. So I never suggest my student to learn physics, to understand physics. So you will be, once you will understand the concept, then wherever, whenever you will be asked any questions, you will be able to give the answer. Okay, because you have understand it, you have not learned it. If you will learn, then you will say I want a time for revision. And in physics or in science or in maths, there is not any concept of revision and all. Okay, just leave it. So law of reflection, that basically means what? This law is associated with two sub law. The first law says that, as we can see in this phenomena, AO is what? Incident ray. OB is what? Reflected ray, and ON is what? Normal. They all lie at same point. Is it or not? Incident ray, reflected ray, and normal, they all lie at the same point and on the same plane. Same plane means what? If you are just taking this board as a plane, as we know in 3 dimension x, y, z, we are having x, y as a plane, y, z as a plane, x, z as a plane. So suppose xy plane means what? 2 dimensional. Plane means what? 2 dimensional. As you can see, if you are considering the length of this board and breadth of this board, so this board is considered to be as a plane, and all the incident ray, reflected ray, and normal, they are lying on the plane. The incident ray is not coming like this. As you can see, incident ray is not going like this. Incident ray is going like this. Incident ray, once it strike on a plane polished surface, reflected back in the same medium, along the same you can say in the same medium and on the same plane, you can say. So that's why what we used to say in the first law of reflection, that incident ray, reflected ray, and normal lie on same point and on same plane. This is the first law of reflection. Incident ray, reflected ray, and normal all lie on same point and on same plane. This is what? Same point of incidence, you can say. And second law of reflections is about this angle. This angle is known as what? Angle of incidence. This angle is known as what? Angle of reflection. So what we can say, AON is known as what? Angle of incident, and angle BON is known as what? Angle of reflection. Is it okay? So the angle made with incident ray with normal, angle between normal and incident ray is called angle of incidence. Angle between reflected ray and normal is known as what? Angle of reflection. Second law says that always angle of incident is equals to angle of reflection for every or you can say phenomena of reflection, angle of incidence is always equals to angle of reflection, or you can take it to be as a small r if you are just taking I. So this is what the law of reflection, what we have come to know. The law of reflection states that incident ray, reflected ray, normal lie on same point and on same plane. It's very important, and on same plane. And second law says that angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection. It's very easy, and I hope that you have studied it earlier also, but you must remember it because we are having these things in this chapter. Okay, reflection. So law of reflection is also now it's okay to all of you. Incident ray, reflected ray, normal lie on the same point and on the same plane. Angle of incidence is equals to angle of reflection. Now, after discussing about these things, I will make you to know about type of reflection. Now, the third topic in our lecture flow, we are having what we are having, type of reflection. Now, we will discuss about type of reflection. Actually, what happened whenever reflection takes place, there we can have two different types of reflection. Okay, so we will discuss about those two type of reflection about here. So one reflection, as we can see about here, we are able to see that incident ray, when it strikes on any plane polished surface, it reflected back in the same medium. And what we are getting about here, suppose any other incident ray is also here, for example, which is parallel to the first incident ray, then what we will see, other ray will also undergoes the phenomena of reflection. So if both the incident rays are parallel, so reflected rays are also parallel, because the incident ray, both the incident rays strikes on a plane polished surface. Now suppose if this plane polished surface is replaced by irregular surface, or you can say rough surface. So suppose we are having about here rough surface. So I will just draw it here, this type of surface. Okay, if we are having this type of mirror or this type of surface which is what little bit rough, so in this particular case, when reflection will take place, suppose this incident ray is striking on this here, and it will just go like this. And suppose if you are having one more incident ray, which is what, parallel to the first one, what happens now? This incident ray may go like this. So we can see that in this case, for the parallel incident ray, for a parallel incident ray, reflected rays are not parallel. But in this case, for the parallel incident ray, reflected rays are also parallel. This is the only difference between these two type of reflection. This we are saying it to be as irregular. We are saying it to be as irregular reflection, and this one we are saying it to be as regular reflection, because irregular reflection takes place on irregular surface, regular reflection takes place on regular surface. Now, one thing is very important in both the cases, because some of the students used to say that regular reflection will follow the law of reflection, irregular reflection will not follow the law of reflection. It is not like that. Wherever, whenever the reflection will take place, whether it is taking place on plane surface, whether it is taking place on uneven surfaces, or you can say irregular surfaces, law of reflection is valid for both the cases. Because as you can see in here also, we can say that the incident ray, reflected ray, and normal, suppose this one is what, normal, lie on the same point and on the same plane. Got it? Incident ray, reflected ray and normal lie on the same point and on the same plane, and this is the first law of reflection. And second law of reflection says that angle I is equals to what? Angle R. So here also we will have the angle I is equals to angle R, and here also for this ray also we can see that angle I is equals to angle R, and incident ray, reflected ray and normal, they lie on the same point and on the same plane. So difference is what? Difference is the only what? That for the two given parallel incident ray, reflected ray will not be parallel for the case of irregular reflection. In the case of regular reflection, for the given two parallel incident ray, reflected ray will also be parallel. Or you can say in this case also one thing more, that in this case normals are also parallel. As you can see, this one normal, if it is n1, this one is what? n2. These two normals are what? Parallel. But in this case you can see these two normals are not parallel. This one is what? n1, this one is what? n2, then n1 is not parallel to n2, but in this case n1 is parallel to n2. So in this way also we can define the difference between regular and irregular reflection. I hope you all have got it. So what is irregular reflection? In irregular reflection we used to say that for two given parallel incident ray, reflected ray will not be parallel, and this reflection takes place on irregular surface. Here for two parallel incident ray, reflected ray will also be parallel, even normal will also be parallel, because the reflection takes place on a plane polished surface. So I hope that it is okay to all of you. Clear? So if you want, you can just copy it by making the screen pause. So we must know, we will now go to another topic. That is what? Image formation by plane mirror of point, extended and thick object. Okay. Now this one is all about the reflection, you can say, where we will discuss about the type of reflection also. Now we will discuss about image formation. What is image? That is okay to all of you. If the question comes that what is image, suppose what is image, what is object, what is image, what is object? It's very you can say common thing. Image means what? Whenever we see ourselves in a mirror, so we are supposed to be an object, and whatever we are seeing in the mirror, that is what? Image. So that the person whom we are seeing in a mirror is what? Virtual. It means that is not real, that is what? Virtual. And one thing more, you can say that's a false impression. That's a false impression. So we used to say that image is a false impression of any object which is supposed to form at any point where the two incident rays are supposed to intersect. So what is image? Image is a false impression of any object where two incident rays intersect each other to form image. Object we are knowing very well, no? Anything which we are considering, whose image we are going to obtain, that is what? Object. Okay. Now, so, and we are having different types of image also, that we will discuss in next topic. Now, image formation we are having about here. Image formation. Image formation by a plane mirror. It's very important. By a plane mirror. Okay. We will discuss about plane mirror, and in next section of this chapter we will discuss about the spherical mirror also. Spherical mirror we will discuss, where we are having two different types of spherical mirror. One is convex mirror and one is concave mirror. That is also one of the most important thing in this chapter. Okay. Now, image formation by a plane mirror. So firstly, we have to see that how the image form for a point object. Point object. So whenever we are having a image formed by plane mirror, we are having some characteristics of the image. What are the characteristics of the image formed by the plane mirror? First of all, we must discuss about that. Characteristics of image formed by the plane mirror. The first one is what? The image, whatever we will get, that is what? Virtual. That is what? Virtual. Virtual, that basically means what? We cannot obtain it on a screen. So, can't be obtained on screen. So, we are having two different types of image. One is real image and one is virtual image. Virtual image means what? An image which cannot be obtained on a screen. Whenever we are seeing ourselves in a mirror. So, the image, whatever we are seeing in the mirror, that is not a screen. Suppose screen means what? If we are just going away, then also the image must be there. And if it will be happen like that, suppose if you are seeing yourself in a mirror and that image remains there, and when you are going back, so what you will see? It's an horror scene, then it will become, no. So you have to not get confused. Virtual image means what? Whenever an object, whenever an image cannot be obtained on a screen, and whenever we use mobile phone just to take our picture, just to take selfie and all, as you are knowing that it's a trend of taking selfie. So that image which is captured on a screen of a mirror, that is screen of a camera, mobile camera. So that image is what? Real image. When we are taking the scenery picture and all, that image is what? Real image. When we are seeing the movie through a projector focused on a screen, so that image is what? Real. But whenever we are seeing ourselves in a mirror, whenever we are seeing in a rear view mirror of a car, those all images are what? Virtual. Those all images are what? Virtual. Okay, now virtual, so plane mirror image forms what? Virtual. And second, the distance of image and the distance of object from the mirror is always same. It means distance of object and image from plane mirror is equal. It's very important, is equal. Okay, so these two things, and of same size also you can say. Third one is what? Of same size also. So these are the some characteristics of the image formed by the plane mirror. What are those? Firstly, what we can say, that the image formed by the plane mirror is what? Virtual. Secondly, distance of object and image from the mirror is what? Equal. And third, what we can say, it is of same size. It is of same size. Size means what? Whether we are talking about thickness or whether we are talking about length, breadth and all. So that will be of same size. Now, point image. For discussing the point image, how the image is formed of an object which is point. Suppose we are just considering it to be a mirror. If you are having any point object here, what will happen? Suppose one ray goes from this point object here on a mirror, and one ray goes here, normally you can say. So if it is an object, so the image will form at the same distance as I make you to know about here. So as you can see about it, that if it is this much of distance, it will be of also this much of distance. So here we will have what? Image. So how it will form? As you can see here, this will follow the law of reflection or the law of reflection. So if you are producing it, it will just reach at the same point. So now what we have to use to say that these two rays meet at a point. So this is what? An image of a point object. If you want, you can take one more ray about here. It will follow the law of reflection. And when we are producing it, it will meet at a point where the image will form. So this is the way in which the image of a point object is formed on opposite side of the mirror. Okay, as you can see that the image is what? Virtual. Distance is what? If it is the distance of x, then this will be also a distance of x, and it is of same size. We are talking about point, so it doesn't make any sense. So point image, point object. Is it okay to all of you? So in this way, the image form of any point image, of any point object. It's okay to all of you? So now we will discuss about, next one is about extended object. So I hope that you all have copied it. No, you must make the screen pause and you can copy it. So next we will discuss about here, that is about extended object. Now next one is what we have to discuss about here, about extended object. Extended object means what? Now the object is of some length, having some length, you can say. So in that particular case, suppose we are having this mirror, and we suppose having this as an object. As you can see, suppose this one is O, this one is O dash. Now what will happen? We will consider one ray which will be what? Normal, and the distance of this and the distance of the image from the screen or from the mirror will be same. Now if one ray is going like this, it will undergo the phenomena of reflection, and when we will produce it, it will meet here and here also. If suppose one ray is going like this, it will undergo a phenomena of reflection, and when we are producing it back, it will meet at a point where the object is here. So this one we are saying it to be as image, and this one we are supposed to say it to be as object. Is it okay to all of you? Clear? So in this way, the image formation takes place of any extended object. If you want, you can just make it little bit tilt also, so that will be also good for you all. Suppose we must take one more example for the extended object. Suppose we are just going to take about here. I hope that you all are able to see it. Suppose we are having this type of object. Now what will happen? This one will be at the same distance, and this one will be at the same distance. Will form an image. This will be what? A straight line. This will be what? A straight line. Incident ray, reflected ray, incident ray, reflected ray, and one ray will take from here to here. It will undergo a phenomenon of reflection. When we are producing it, it will meet here. One ray, suppose like this, like this, like this, it will meet at here. So this one is what? P, Q, then this one will be what? P dash and Q dash. So in this way, what happened? The image formation takes place of any extended object. I hope that you all are able to getting it, no? Now we are having now, next one is what? Thick object. Thick object. In the case of thick object, what happens? So you almost copy this, okay? Just take your time, make the screen pause and you can have it, okay? Now next one we are going to discuss about here, that is about extended object. About extended object. In the case of extended object, we used to define one thing more, that is what? About lateral inversion. About lateral inversion. So when the object is laterally inverted, which we are saying it to be a lateral inversion, laterally inverted, the phenomena is known as lateral inversion. What happens in that particular case? Suppose if you are going to have an mirror, laterally inverted means what? As we can say laterally means what? Perpendicularly. Suppose when we used to see ourselves in a mirror, suppose we are standing here, when we raise our right hand in a mirror, what we supposed to see? That left hand has been raised. So that is what? The image is what? Laterally inverted, you can say. So in that particular case, suppose if you are just taking any thick object, suppose we are just supposing, okay, suppose we have take about here alphabet letter P, okay. So if you will draw its image, so the distance of this point of the letter P will be at the same distance in a mirror, no problem. If you are supposed to take this point, it will be also at the same distance. We are supposed to take this point, it will also be at the same distance. We will just join this, and what we will see that the letter of P is what? Laterally inverted. This happened in the case of thick object. This happened in the case of thick object. So this phenomena is called what? Lateral inversion. What we are saying it to be as lateral inversion. In the case of lateral inversion, if the definition you want to make you to just to define the lateral inversion, so we can say that in the case of lateral inversion, when the object is seen in a plane mirror, the image of the object get laterally inverted, or left side of the object is seen on right side of the image, and right side of the object is seen on left side of the object. It's very easy, no, it's very easy. With that we used to see in our day-to-day life also, and this is playing very important role also. Yeah, okay. Have you seen ambulance? In ambulance, the letters what we are supposed to have, suppose this is the letter of ambulance, no? Ambulance. Okay, I will just make it one thing very clear. Suppose this one is what? Ambulance. This is what? Image. This is what? Image which we used to see in a mirror, in a rear view mirror of a car. But it is written it as in this way. It is written as A M B ambulance, no? L A N C E. It is written in this form. On a ambulance vehicle, it is written in this form, and when we are seeing it in our rear view mirror, it appears like this. So it will be easy for us to recognize or just to mention that which car is coming from back. So if it will be written like this, suppose if it will be an object, then this will be the image, and with the help of these letters we will not be able to read it properly. So that's why ambulance is written in this form and it appears in this form. So it plays a very important role in our day-to-day life also, just to save anyone. Suppose ambulance means what? A vehicle which carries the patient, emergency patient, you can say about there. Suppose if anyone is what badly injured, and if that person will be stuck in the traffic, then something will happen, or that person may, got it, no? So in such cases we used to write it in this way, so it must appear in the correct form and the driver can use his sense to give the pass to that vehicle or to such vehicle which is known as ambulance, which is going towards the hospital or towards the patient. Okay, and they used to make a siren also, so no problem is there. So this one is all about today's lecture, whatever we have discussed, in which we have discussed about introduction of light, we have discussed about reflection of light, we have discussed about law of reflection, we have discussed about type of reflection, we have discussed about image formation by plane mirror or point extended or thick object, and laterally inverted, or what is the meaning of lateral inversion. So I hope that today's lecture you all have enjoyed, and in the next lecture we will just move with another topic related to reflection of light, and where we will come to know about type of mirror also, and in that particular mirror how the reflection takes place when the object are placed at different position, and then we will see some more important phenomena related to light. I hope it's good for you all, and bye bye, take care, have a nice day. Okay.